Good evening, students. How are you doing?
Good evening, teacher.
How was your day, Magda?
Fine, teacher. Fine. Today in Villavicencio, very hot. Uy,
It was very hot. How many centigrades, more or less?
29 grades.
29? Okay. And usually it's 25?
Usually 20, 18 to 20.
Oh, like 8 more, like almost 10 more. That's
Yes, teacher. Okay.
so before we were suffering because we had a lot of rain and now we have a lot of sun in
Yes,
parts of
yeah, the people took very water for the hot is terrible.
yeah, I guess. The thing is that there are a lot of rivers in that area of the country, right?
Yes, teacher.
So I guess you won't suffer from a lack of water.
Water, yes, in Villavicencio, the people drink very much water
That's
for
good.
the.
Yeah, that's good. Oh well. Uh, okay, I'm going to share my screen. Last week and this week, no, last week, you studied how to report information, right? And we practiced a little bit with some conversations in the last encounter. But tonight, the idea is that you practice a little bit your speaking. So I plan to talk with you about problems that we find in our cities, in the places where we live, in Medellin, in Villavicencio, in Bogota, in the places where you live, in Madrid, etc. So, what are some of those problems? What are the main problems that we have in the cities in Colombia? Just mention some. What do you suffer from in your cities? For example, one of the problems is crime. What other problems do we have in our city?
Pollution,
Pollution. What else?
employing,
Unemployment.
unemployment. Excuse me, teacher.
Uh-huh. What else?
Mobility.
Okay. What else?
Mm,
Contamination.
Pollution.
Deforestation. Thanks
Okay.
for the
Deforestation. Any other? Very traffic, many traffic. Uh-huh.
Public service.
Okay, lack of public services.
Corruption.
Okay, corruption. Sorry. Okay, any other?
Teacher, what about informal transportation? It can be by car or motorbikes, because here in my city, oh my God, it's a big problem.
Uh-huh. That's also
No,
true.
because people can take whatever they want, but the problem is that there are many people, they don't have the insurance updated, you know,
The license?
the license, right? And yes, could be the license and could be the, I mean, I don't know how to say it, but okay, some people who has motorbikes, they paid a special amount of money to be covered to if there is any accident.
Ah, okay. The
So,
SOAT.
right, yes.
Okay. Uh-huh. So, for example, Gerson, in Bucaramanga, what do the politicians to try to solve that problem of informal transportation? What are the
Oh,
proposals?
okay, one of the things that they are perhaps working on is just to create a special card in which people have to take with them every time. I mean, they can they can't how did you say that? I mean they can transport their relative or family members, but they probably will. We might need a special card in which our names are included. I mean, for example, if I have a motorbike and I want to carry my mother or my son, my children, right? And a special card in which include all those names, and I show the police every time when they stop me, you know, to show the documents.
So that the proposal is to have a card with the names of your family members, so they are the only ones who
Yes, who can ride
who can
on the
ride
motorbike, or yes.
the motorbike with the owner. Okay, what
I
about
don't know if it will be good, but yes, but it will. Okay, I think it's a good idea, but I don't know how things are going to end up.
but sometimes you don't only write with your family members, but sometimes you write with your friends or
Yes, but you
with the
cannot. Yes,
girlfriend.
yes,
It won't be possible.
yeah. Those are, I don't know, but they are just working on that. But I'm not sure which restriction these cars will have. Right? Um, yeah. So, but it
Yes,
could be one of the disadvantages just to have a motorbike and don't transport your friends or even my girlfriend or you know. So yeah, I don't know, but probably they are thinking just to ride, um, give a ride just for family members.
yeah, that's complex. Magda, have you seen the same problem in Villavicencio?
Yes, teacher. In Villavicencio, we have the unemployment and pollution, deforestation, and with emphasis in lack of public service. It's terrible, this topic in Villavicencio.
And you have in Villavicencio the problem of illegal ways of transportation, like people that offer to transport others in their motorbikes or cars.
No, in Villavicencio, the traffic not is problem. The traffic is very easy. The transportation go to place is very easy. No, not traffic, not is problem. The problems are others situations. For example, lack of public service, deforestation, pollution, and unemployment is
Magda,
terrible.
I have a question. So,
Yes.
people in your city support this informal transportation? I mean that people can ride a motorbike, just pay a lower price, you know, for being taken
In
from one place to another.
In Villavicencio, the transportation is more usually is motorcycle. The people use motorcycle, go to work, go to school, go to supermarket. Is more usually a motorcycle and cars, but more usually is a motorcycle.
Yeah, because nowadays there are many people that are, or users that are just, I mean, using the apps like Uber or InDriver or other kind of informal.
No, the platforms Uber and no, in Villavicencio no.
You don't have.
We have not this transportation support. No, platforms no. Only public service.
Okay.
Okay, and what about you, Karen said in Medellin? Are there like illegal ways of transportation?
Yes, but yes, maybe is the Uber or the platform that the person use for transportation, but I think that the problem is not the person use, but it's not the problem in the city.
Okay, it's not like there are accidents and the probably the motorbike or the person who rides the motorbike doesn't have the SOAT and then
That I say that it was that I know, no.
okay, as far as you know, that doesn't happen.
Yes, yes, teacher.
Okay, good. Let's see who else is here. Dinalda, what about the place where you live? Are there illegal ways of transportation? Dinalda? Okay, maybe she can hear me. Well, so what do you guys think could be a solution for the problem of illegal transportation in Bucaramanga? So Gerson told us that the politicians over there have thought about are planning to have a restriction to ask the riders of the motorcycle to hold a card with the names of family members so they can only ride the bike with the company of any family member. So they cannot ride the bike with friends or or let's say the boyfriend or the girlfriend. So in my opinion, that's kind of that's difficult because if you have a car, if you have a motor, if you have a well any means of transportation, you sometimes take your friends with you, co-workers or your boyfriend or girlfriend. So that will be kind of difficult to ask people not to do it. Do you guys think about any other solution for the problem that Gerson is telling us? Because what happens there is that the person that offers the service to transport the other ones, sometimes they don't have the license, or sometimes they don't have the SOAT. So if they crash, for example, if you ride the motorbike with the other person, and you have the accident, then you cannot be you cannot go to the hospital and ask for the SOAT coverage because the person doesn't have it. So what do you think might be a good solution to stop that business that is illegal and that this could be dangerous for the passengers? What about having police officers uh, like ask for the license and all the documents, let's say for during some weekends, so they can get the motorbike of the person who doesn't have the documents that are required. So that if the person doesn't have it's like when you have a car and you are stopped by a police officer. If you don't have the documents, they can take your car to patios, and then you need to pay a fine or something like that. So maybe if police officers in Bucaramanga like do on some weekends like that, let's say they check in some parts of the city if the riders of the motor have the documents, maybe they could get some of those illegal riders.
Teacher, for example, in Medellin, the police and the traffic and the police of the traffic, I don't remember the name, uh, regulated and help for video camera. And you cannot to go out of the house when you don't have to idea in today the SOAT, for example, when you say in the house, the police they cannot, but the camera see and they they put the una multa.
Fine. Ticket.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Fine. But what about, what do they use the cameras for?
Camera, cameras for the scene that they can they know to they finish the SOAT, finish the SOAT, or for example, they see the camera to go down the house and, and pass and use the card in this moment, and the document is not today, is not, you use the card illegal. Yes, they just they put the multa,
The fine.
the
Yeah,
fine.
I got your idea. So they have like in the system, in the computer, that
Yes,
when each person needs to renew the SOAT, if
yes,
they see in the cameras that the car is on the streets and they have not renewed the SOAT, they can find that the person that owns the car.
and
Okay.
you, for example, you use the card other days, for example, 10 days, and the cameras see the card, the, se multiplica por los días, multiplicate for the 10 days.
So the amount of the fine will
Yes.
increase with the number
Yes,
of days that the person uses the car. Well,
yes,
that's really
yes,
that's really bad for the owner, but I mean, it's a way to control, right? Because
yes.
there are a lot of people in cities, so there is this, it's necessary to control people. So that what you are telling us is using using technology, the cameras, using the data that the cameras can collect to control, for example, the restriction of the cars in the street, or people who use the car without the documents that are necessary, like the SOAT. What else can or what other uses can we have uh, with cameras in the in the cities? What else can be controlled by using technology in the cities, by using cameras, for example? What other problems, like the ones that you mentioned here? Problems like crime, pollution, unemployment, mobility, traffic, deforestation, lack of public services, corruption, informal transportation. Which of those problems could be solved with the help of technology, and specifically with the help of cameras?
Teacher, for example, in my neighbor, the cameras solved the crime because I'm a part of the street that many cars park in front of our houses, and night the robbers take the mirrors of the cars, and so when put when the cameras, the problem disappeared.
Okay, so they can be used to control crime.
Yeah, crime. Yeah, and a person see the cameras, or Vigita, I don't know, and call the police once he or she see a robber or any problem.
Yeah,
Control.
so it can be used to control and it can be used to inform,
Identify,
to
yeah,
identify the robbers
the robbers.
and to
Yeah.
inform the police. Okay, good. In which other cases people can use technology, or cities or the governments can use the cameras or other technology to help to control other problems?
Mm.
There are some speed controllers that are beneficial sometimes, you know, because there are a lot of people that go fast on their vehicles. And yeah, for example, on the way to Cartagena, there are many speed controllers that can, that can measure could be
That can
how,
be measured?
yeah, can measure how fast a driver is going and get a fine just taking a photo, and immediately they receive at home their fine or ticket, you know? So yeah, in that case, it's good because there are some, I mean, a place, you know, okay, there is the road to Barranquilla to Cartagena. It's quite danger because of the wind coming from the sea to the twinner. I mean, inside of the, you know, and it is dangerous for cars going fast.
Okay, so they can also be used to control the speed in different ways.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, now let's think about the problem of pollution. What do governments or the mayors in our cities say about the ways they are addressing this problem? What solutions do mayors in our cities have proposed to solve this problem?
For example, in Bogota, the last year or this year, I don't remember, the major extend the hours of restriction,
Right?
and also in he implement, I don't know, the restriction on weekends,
Yeah,
so that yeah, the traffic was very small
was
and
reduced.
reduced, and uh, the news, I don't know if it's true, um, showed that the CO2 emissions were reduced on these days.
Yeah, so I remember some months ago we had restrictions on weekends because the pollution in the city had increased. So they had to extend the restriction on weekends. Currently, we don't have that on weekends, but we don't know, probably in the future we will have the restriction again because there are a lot of cars in Bogota.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Magda, what about Villavicencio? Do you guys in Villavicencio have problems of traffic and pollution?
In Villavicencio, the pollution to have high levels of the pollution, especially in the afternoon. in the afternoon is very pollution in the streets for the city.
There is a lot of
Uh,
pollution. And what are the solutions that the mayor has implemented or wants to implement to solve the problem?
the government propose a solution for pollution is about pico y placa, some days of the weeks. For example, Monday and Wednesday, the cars, the numbers 2, 4, 6, and 9 don't don't drive,
Cannot be driving.
cannot be driving
Sorry.
for the street. And other days for the week, no, there are not restrictions. There is a solution for the transport.
Okay. Let's see. Nalda, what about the place where you live? Are there problems of pollution over there?
Teacher, in my small town. Yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Teacher, the before question, I want to say that it's important. My God, I have a brain this moment, teacher. I'm so sorry. It's important to have a project to reforestation in the each small town or in the school in different places, teacher, but less pollution. And in my little town, I don't know if have um, a project or activities that can less the pollution. But I know that in Medellin, for example, have to Pico y Placa Day, and the Sunday can be the people using the bicycle or can running. There are different ways for doing these activities.
Okay, very good, Nalda. So one idea is to plant more trees, right? To plant more trees so they can help with getting the CO2 and then giving us oxygen, right? So we need more trees, as you mentioned, in villages and cities, so they can help us with the problem of pollution. And besides that, you tell us that there is also car restriction in Medellin, which is the big city close to where the place where you live, and also the idea of promoting the use of bicycles to move from one place to the other. Good. Do you guys have thought about any other way to solve the problem of pollution? What else could people do?
For example, here in Bucaramanga, there are so many, I mean, the government, or I don't know, I mean, politicians, the alcalde, yes, have,
Major?
yes, the mayor. The mayor has, has helped in a project creating cycle roads around the city. But they have caused another problem with many people. For example, there are so many cycle roads that are in some main streets in the town, so that are reducing the space or making the street narrower, you know? And people are discussing and arguing with I don't know, with the oh my god, with I don't know, okay, with the territorial and things like that too, because they issue that problem. They sue about that problem because they didn't think before about first about creating those cycles roads, having enough space around those places. There are some places that are good enough. I mean, they are good, but there are other places that they can't reduce the streets. The streets. You understand what I mean? Sorry about
Yes, I do. Like that probably happens in, like, I guess in all the country. Usually, cities are created because, I mean, there is no plan to create cities in Colombia or small villages or the places where we live. So there are a lot of construction, buildings, uh, but there are no roads for people and for bicycles and for cars. So when you don't plan and you start building houses and there are a lot of people and you don't plan like the ways for people to move, for bicycles to go, and for cars to move also. So what you will have is what you are mentioning, narrow places, so that are not enough for everybody, for all people who want to move. And that also happens here in Bogota, and I guess in all the cities in Colombia. We don't plan the way the cities are going to be built, but it's like they just the planners of the cities just give the permission to build apartments and houses everywhere, and there are no plans to build the roads. Okay, well, let's move to other problem that we have that you mentioned. Um, well, you mentioned the problem of pollution. Also, well, not only for the pollution produced by cars, but we also have the pollution produced by waste. So everything that we use and that we throw to the garbage produces waste. And so all cities have the problem that they don't know where to put that waste because that's just too much. So one possible solution is to recycle, right? And to reduce our consumption. Have you guys seen like these type of stores in the places where you live? So bulk stores are those stores where you can find, for example, grains, and they are not in bags. You have to take your bag, your container, in order to carry those beans to your home. Have you seen those bulk stores in your places, in the places where you live?
Mm,
Karen, have you ever you are saying that you've seen those places? Have you ever bought anything in those stores?
No, teacher. I know, really.
Besides grains, what else have you seen that people can find in those stores?
Well, I see that there are possible to find food for animals, and also things like rice, salt, and food.
Okay, different types of food like salt and all right. And what about compost? Have you ever guys used a compost at home or you know a person who uses? Like it's where you put, it's a bag where you put the waste, organic waste, like for example the peel of the fruits, that food that you don't eat. So you put that in the container and you put also the worms, you know, the small animals, and you put also soil on it. So it actually has, you transform the waste into a liquid that can be used to throw it to the plant. So it is actually, when it becomes a liquid, becomes, when it goes from solid to liquid, it is actually like something that can be used to make plants grow. It's like the food for plants. Have you ever guys used a compost at home, or do you know a person who uses? Nobody?
No, teacher, but I don't know if in other places, but here in my town, there are many zorreros. I don't know how to say it in English. And they go to people's homes to take the organic waste that maybe we have.
Okay, so I would say that they are recyclers. Yes, because they take the waste and they try to recycle it. So I didn't know that in some places they took the organic waste. Usually, what they take is the cardboard, glass, cans, paper to recycle. But I didn't know that they also collected organic waste.
Yes,
Well,
specifically here are recyclers. The people who I am referring to, they are people who specifically works on that, on going uh, in the from one house to another for the organic waste specifically, and they use it to feed the cows, horses, and yes, that animals.
okay, so they use it to feed some animals that maybe they have in a type of a farm. All right. Okay. Patricia, you live in the USA, and in USA, people usually live in big houses, and people usually compost the organic waste. Uh,
Yes,
what can you tell us
yes.
about it?
Okay, teacher. Where I live in Idaho, the people uh, the people are working on compost, using organic uh, uh,
Waste.
residues,
Uh-huh.
waste, and organic food. Um, uh, so people all growing uh, um, um, uh, how do you say hongos?
Mushrooms.
Bushos,
Mushrooms.
uh, mushrooms on their farms, granjas,
Yes.
because they now it is important to reduce pollution. So the Americanos is for is very important um, um, work in compost with was organic was
Waste. Uh-huh. So
waste.
actually they have an advantage, and is that they live, well, a lot of people have big houses, so they have the garden and the yard, and they usually have the compost in the backyard. So the compost is usually smelly, so that's why it's kind of difficult to have it in apartments. And if you have a house, you can have it in the backyard, so you don't smell um, you don't smell when it goes from solid to liquid, because that process is smelly. Okay, Patricia, what other problems um, do people have in the place where you live?
Um, mm, uh, where I live and no problems. I live in Tocancipá, where I live. Very problems. Because there are many factories with Bavaria, Coca-Cola, beer company,
So
etc.
what was the problem
Uh,
there in Tocancipá? What happened with the companies? Did the companies call?
These companies increase pollution. Mm, because the governments do not uh, much the situation.
So,
Um,
mhm.
but in Tocancipá, there is Bell campaña
A campaign.
Of a campaign of the people to sign a petition mm, eh, so that no more companies come to this place.
Okay, so that's a possible solution, right? To collect the signatures, so it is not, there is a restriction in the future for companies to establish over there. What happens is that a lot of people from Bogota have moved there, right? Have moved to those small cities. So because before some years ago, those cities were mainly the place for industries, as you mentioned. Now that people have moved over there, of course, they are not going to want to have more companies polluting the air close to their homes. Okay, so the big problem there is pollution in Tocancipá. Is there any other?
Okay.
Is there any other problem in Tocancipá or other possible solution to the problem of pollution?
Um, in Tocancipá, the problems, the transportation and the people, the solution, um, mm, the bicycle, for the in the place.
Patricia, we can't hear you. Would you please check your connection? Okay, again, now. Could you try it again, please? So you were telling us that there is a problem of transportation. What's that about? No, well, she's having problems with her connection. So, well, let's see. Leonardo, what can you tell us about the problems that the place where you live have?
Okay, good evening, teacher.
Hello, Leonardo.
Good evening, classmates. Problem in my city. I live in Tunza, near to Bogota, and the main problem is pollution and transport. Mainly two problems.
And what?
And insecurity.
Is okay.
Insecurity.
Well, usually when we talk about
insecurity.
Yeah, but the word insecurity is used when we talk about feelings, emotions of people. When we talk about robberies and let's say murders, etc., those are crimes. So Funza suffers from crimes, from transportation problems.
Robberies.
And what are the solutions that the mayor has?
And robberies.
What are the solutions that the mayor of Funza has implemented to solve those problems?
Okay. Okay, the pollution problem, the mayor support to drive by and all citizens that reduce to CO2 and to in the college in the some places the footprint that what do you say, crear conciencia,
To make people become aware,
become aware the citizens of my country that the insecurity the major contract more police officers um, for 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 the whole country. In in the pollution in the pollution to the organic waste. For example, in my home, my mother-in-law have any animals, for example, dogs, chickens, and the in our home, all people recyclers, and for example, the waste, the waste, some waste can feed to 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 animals. For example, chickens eat the shell of potatoes, cáscaras,
the peel,
tim,
peel.
peel. Okay, peel of potatoes, of apples. The chickens eating eating that. This is the any problems in my city.
Okay, good. So in your mother-in-law's case, she tries to reuse the organic waste by giving it to some animals, by feeding some animals, like you mentioned.
Yes.
All right. Patricia, thank you, Leonardo. Patricia, you were telling us that there is also a problem of transportation
Okay.
in Tocancipá, right? What's that about?
Yes, teacher.
Give us please more information about it.
Yes, teacher. In Tocancipá, use the bicycle. Teacher, listen to me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. The Tocancipá, in Tocancipá, the people use bicycle. They aren't. They use. They use not a car because the people is they have they haven't recursos for conseguir car and bus. And so the people use a bicycle every day, go to the working.
Okay, so actually, I mean, well, but that's well, I don't know if that could be a problem because currently what majors in main cities are trying to encourage is to have people ride their bicycles more often so the pollution can be reduced and the traffic can be reduced. In the case of Tocancipán, which is a small city close to Bogota, what Patricia is telling us is that a lot of people have to ride their bicycles, but because they don't have money to use a bus or they don't have money to buy a car. But actually, if they ride their bicycles, they are helping to reduce pollution and they are helping to reduce traffic. So maybe that won't be a problem. That's maybe a good habit that people use their bicycles. I would say, what do you guys think? Didier, what happens in the place where you live?
Sorry, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can hear you. We can hear you, Didier. Yes. So, where do you live?
Teacher. Oh my God. I don't know what happened with this microphone. Hello, teacher?
I can hear you.
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, Didier.
Yes, Didier.
Classmates? Okay. Teacher, and what about you, teacher? Teacher.
Yes, Didier, I can hear you. I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Tell us where do you live?
In Bogotá near en Portal 80.
Okay. What's the main problem in that part of the city?
In that part of the city,
We
I
can't hear you.
Didier.
Can't hear.
Didier, we can't hear you. Check your microphone, please. We can't hear you. Okay, while you check your microphone, I'm going to ask Natalia.
Oh my God. I don't know what happened.
Now we hear you, Didier. So, Didier, tell us about the place where you live. You told us that you live close to
Ah,
Vicente. Didier?
what happened? The tell me, teacher.
Yes. You were telling us about the place where you live, the main problems in that part of the city.
Okay, the security because there are many robs in the stores and around that neighborhood, and there are many neighbors with problems cause of many robs or I don't know how do you say atracos. When robbers,
What solutions have you heard from
robbers,
to solve that problem? What?
the yes, yes, many neighbors and uh, are decide that they put on different cameras or or um or device alarm or calling the police and different on on their on their motorcycles transit for for this place.
Okay, so and what have you heard the politicians
Well,
want to do
that's
to
all.
solve the problem of robberies in the city? What are the proposals of politicians to solve the problem?
Sorry, teacher. Excuse me.
What solutions
Yes,
have you
the the solution is the union of this of the community or the neighbors to alarm or calling the the policeman. And in the district, Bolivia district, implement one case, one case, police station around this this neighborhood.
Okay, thanks, Didier.
Okay.
Natalia?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what about the place where you live?
Well, I live very close to El Terminal, so in here is very dangerous because of the Venezuelan people. Well, I have nothing against them, but most of the robbers are from them. So in here is very dangerous. And well, I live very close to like 2 blocks close to La Boyaca. So in here we have very high pollution. So so I think though both things are the most complicated things that we have in here. Well, close to my house. I cannot hear you. Teacher, I cannot hear you.
Yes, thank you, Natalia. I was telling all of you to think about these possible solutions to solve the violence or prevent the violence, like providing employment for people and health support. Do you think that works to try to solve the problem of violence in different cities? Could be that a solution if there are some places where violence is increased, maybe by providing, if politicians provide employment and health support, like more sports for people, could that help to reduce the level of violence and crimes? What do you think?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a change in your neighborhoods related to these solutions?
No, in here I haven't anything about it. And it could work because it's necessary. There are a lot of people asking for money and food, and that's why they need to get food and money robbing people.
Okay, so people who steal, well, they sometimes they do it because they don't have money to eat, or they don't have money to for a place where to live, right? So maybe if we address the cause of the problem, we can probably try to solve it. What about drugs? So there are a lot of drug addicts like lately in the country. And I would like you to think about these solutions, like to continue eradicating drugs, to incarcerate drug traffickers, and to create drug centers so where people who are addicted to drugs can go there and get the drug in a controlled way, but also get help from doctors, from psychologists, from different professionals to solve the problem. So what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of these ways to solve the problem of drug addiction? From eradicating to incarcerating, and also to create drug centers. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Or what have you heard about those possible solutions? or probably which do you think could work best? Which of those three solutions? Incarcerating drug traffickers, eradicating the supplies of drugs, and creating drug centers for addicts. Which of those three solutions do you consider that works best to solve the problem of drug addiction?
Oh, teacher, maybe the drug centers, but it's important to improve the treatment. I don't know, into into the drug centers, because there were a drug center near from my house. So the deal is horrible, was horrible, and they were tortured and beaten. I don't know.
They were beaten
So
in the drug center?
or yeah, golpeados. I don't know.
Yes, beaten. Yes.
Beaten? Yeah. I suppose that drug centers would be make a change, but it's important that people who works there uh, want to help the
The
drug
addicts. The addicts.
the addicts. Yeah.
What happened with the drug center?
We're close. Yeah, we're close.
Okay.
So I think the addicts gets afraid to go in that centers.
Yeah, so your idea is that maybe those drug centers could work, but it's necessary to offer good help. I mean,
Yeah.
with professionals to help those addicts or drug addicts.
Exactly, teacher.
Okay. Okay, what else do you guys think? Are you for any of these solutions? I copied these web pages because I found some information there about the results of using those drug centers. The results in, for example, in Portugal. So in Portugal, the government in Portugal gives more money to healthcare for drug addicts than for police officers. So, like in other parts of the world, we invest more money on having more police officers to like to try to incarcerate the people who sell the drugs. But in Portugal, what they did was the opposite. They invested more money on healthcare and those health centers for addicts, so they were treated more like patients than like criminals, actually. And in that place, it worked. So it doesn't mean that it needs to work in all countries, but over there it worked to reduce the level of the amount of drug addicts. So I will copy this. Link for you Just if you want to take a look at it, it's like a 15-minute video about that possible solution. This one is also about the way drug centers work. It's also like 10-15 minutes long if you want to take a look at it. Okay, so I would like to know if you have any suggestion for future topics that we can discuss in our encounters. So remember that what we try to do every week is, well, to work on the grammar topic that you study next week, but also to try to have a conversation about a topic so you can practice your speaking. So I don't know if you guys have any suggestion for future topics for our encounters, or maybe you might have a question about something that you studied in Dexway and you want me to explain to you.
Mm,
Teacher, sorry, the video says that is unavailable.
It's not about?
No.
Let me check.
The first one.
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna try the second one.
Okay, I found the video again, so I'm sharing the link with all of you. The first one. Okay, do you guys have questions about any topic of the X-ray or a suggestion for our next topic? Or any comment about what we discussed tonight?
Teacher?
Yes, Didier, we can hear you. Do you have a question? Didier? Didier?
Teacher?
Didier, tell me, what's your question?
Okay. My question is about seeing watching. Uh, oh, uh, I can't stand seeing violent movies. Okay. On the other hand, um, I saw other sentence say, okay, I couldn't mind watching an action movie. Mm, I really confused about that.
I
Yes,
can't stand seeing violent
I
movies.
can't stand seeing violent movies. And on the other hand, it's okay. I couldn't mind watching an action movie. No, in
I
the
couldn't
first
watch.
one is only scene. I wouldn't. I would. Okay, I wouldn't mind. Okay, I wouldn't mind watching an action movie.
Okay.
Yes, and the first one is only scene without watching.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I can't stand is something that you hate. So I can't stand is kind of similar to hate. So you
Hate.
just can't do it. You because you don't like it. You almost hate it. The translation into Spanish will be no soporto.
No support.
While I wouldn't mind is the opposite. No me importaría.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind playing soccer. I wouldn't mind cooking for my family members. So you can do it. Yes, you don't have a problem with that action. But in the opposite is that you hate it. We can hear you, Didier. We can't hear you. No. No, we can't hear you. No.
Teacher.
Now we can. Yes. Yes. Now we can hear you.
I can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. But I confuse in between between seeing and watching. Yes.
Watching is usually for.
And watching in constant in the context about a movie or about TV, television, or I don't know, watching or seeing.
Watching is more common. Watching TV, watching movies.
Okay. And seeing.
And see is used for other situations. So usually for the screens, like the TV screen, like the screen of the movies, we use the verb watch. That's the verb that we usually use. And see is for other situations, like see the park, I can see let's say, I see the children on the street.
Yes, but
for other situations. So it's more common to use the verb watch when we talk about the screen, the TV screen or the screen of the movies.
Well, because the first sentence is I can stand seeing violent movies. Yes. No, I can stand watching violent movies.
But it's more common to use watch for the kind of movies. It's more common.
Okay. It's a question about this way.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Okay, guys. So please, really, I would appreciate if you tell me the topics that you want to discuss next time, so I can prepare the encounter. These are topics that I think that we could that can help you to practice, but maybe you would like to talk about a specific thing like sports, like movies, like other topics. So please let me know. Email me and tell me what topics would you like to discuss or grammar topics that you want me to explain, so I can prepare our next encounter. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
All right, so that's all for tonight. Thank you for joining the encounter tonight.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Happy good night.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.